Hey now, y'all. I hope everybody is feeling groovy on this Friday high noon broadcast. Hope you're hopping, popping, and bopping, as they used to say on the airwaves. Creative Tony, is funny. I was listening to the intro today, and something occurred to me when you hear Carmela Soprano go, "Can I tell you something, Tony?" Like when she's, "Can I tell you something, Tony?" And then he comes in with, "Don't pretend like I got a choice." That was like the moment that she revealed to. It was one of the greatest on-screen domestic fights of all time, dude. It was so real. I felt like I was like I was getting like uptight. I was getting nervous. But they're yelling at each other, and then she goes, "Can I tell you something, Tony?" And then she goes, "I've been in love with Furio for the past 2 years." But she unloads that whole thing on Tony, and then he comes running over and just starts punching the wall. Freaking mayhem. But it just occurred to me today that is the opening trigger of every show. "Can I tell you something, Tony?" And she's just about to reveal her love for Furio. Okay, got that out of the way. We got ourselves a Metallica Friday, kids. We're ready to go. Tony and I have already been cementing our game plan for today. We're going to head on down there today, scout the whole thing out, check out night number one. We'll all be back as a group on Sunday. Tony and I'll look at some locations today. It's such a mess at Levi's, like this lot, gold lot, blue lot, green lot. Tony, I don't know. I don't know where to tell everybody to go. So we'll take a look at everything today, and we'll try to pick a good spot where we can all get together on Sunday before the show. Tony and I are going to do some live reports from Levi's Stadium today. So I look forward to that too. And one little weird wrinkle today. What's up, Winks? I'm happy that you are here, but I got some sadness in my heart. If I may, if I can get artistic and poetic for a moment, show off my emo side. Tony, I feel a shadow crossing my heart. I feel a shadow on my heart.
Wow.
The reason I feel, there's a shadow on my heart because Winks ain't up here today. Winks was supposed to be pumping fists and throwing devil horns, but he couldn't make it up. He's got commitments with his kids. But anyway, Winks, I'll get my head banging on for the both of us, okay? But it does feel weird.
Your head. Sorry, dude.
You get primed up however you need to. I had you listen to some Quiet Riot if that's what the doctor calls for. Tony, how's your head today? How you feeling on a Friday following a glorious Giants win? We'll get into that. NBA Finals.
I don't know if I'd call that a glorious win, but it's a win no less, dude. I'm good, man. I'm really good. Happy Friday. And dude, when I coached my daughter's soccer team, we had practices on Fridays, and I would yell out "Happy Fry Yay," and the kids hated it. My daughter hated it. Yeah. Happy Fry Yay. And so I'm just doing it because I know my daughter hates it. Happy Fry Yay, Paulie. Fry Yay.
I kind of hate it too. I stand with Olivia on this one. I reject it. I reject it on principle. I reject it on audio, sonic inferiority. Just doesn't sound good. What does it even mean? Where'd you invent that term?
Well, it's Friday instead of Friday. It's yay that it's Friday. Yay, it's Friday. So
it's
Friday.
Not like your tribute to Kanye West, because some circles you just call him Yay. You know what I mean?
No,
Yay.
No.
Yeah.
There will be no Kanye West.
I agree with you on that front. We're going to keep this a Kanye West free show from this point forward. His name will probably never get mentioned again, which suits me just fine. Anyway, Creative Tony, what's so funny?
Nothing. I was just looking at Greg Goodman says Friday won't even make the brackets. And speaking of brackets, we're going to finish our bummer bracket because we've got a game 7, Paulie. And I'm excited as hell about that. Indiana just making another statement, dude. Just
I told you.
Yeah.
I felt that yesterday. That was one of the few times I took the crystal ball away from you. And I was like, you know what, Tony? I got this one. Let me make this call. And I feel pretty good. I felt really confident about that. Like, I still see OKC as a flawed team, Tony, in this one way. They don't perform well when their backs are up against the wall. When they're in a dogfight, a close game, like that is not their comfort zone. Here we go.
Here we go, Lily. Let's go, Lily. Friday. Happy Friday. Let's go.
You're going to divide the community, man. It's going to be like the first civil war amongst the PMP enthusiasts because we've all been getting along so well. Hey, Lily, as far as I told you, the first time I met Lily at Longbridge on for opening day party, I looked at her crew. I go, you know what? Lily's a gangster. She's going to set the tone for the rest of it. So listen, Lily, if you want to go Friday, I'm not standing in your way. I'm just not. You got free reign to do whatever you please. Shout out to your friend Mo as well. I'm always down with a good Mo as a name, short for Maureen. Okay. Anyway, I felt good about the Pacers. They did deliver. Tony, you got gripes about the Giants, but before we get into our gripes and brackets and NBA and Metallica and music assignment, why don't we handle some business? Because you spent the pre and post show at Longbridge Pizza yesterday. I'm going to kind of let you take the floor on this one. Like, I know your whole Little League team was in there, so you've got fresh, hot takes. I'll let you kind of deliver them to the masses. I'm just here to support you, bro. That's all.
So yesterday I did the show from upstairs in Neil's office, right above Longbridge Pizza, and I was like, kind of like loving doing the show, of course, but also just like jonesing to get down there and eat some of that pizza because I was getting pictures and text just saying, "Dude, get down here. The pizza's amazing. The food is out," and Neil is just, stuffing our faces with the best food possible. So I just got to give another hat tip to Neil and to Andre and to Gabino and to Steven.
Gabino, dude. I'm a Gabino guy, dude. Great handle. Gabino. It's my guy, Gabino,
And I asked him, how's that spelled? And he goes, it's just like Gambino without the M. I go, dude.
Fine. One of the major crime families in New York City, one of the 5 families, the Gambinos. Anyway, go ahead, Tony.
No, but it was great, man. And just to reiterate that you can bring larger groups there and have like team parties or family parties or birthday parties or whatever you want at Longbridge because they put us in the back room.
Yeah.
And dude, had the spread out, had the Polymac pizza and in the Detroit style.
Ooh.
Had like 6 different other types of pizzas. He had Caesar salads out. It was a smorgasbord, man.
Hold on, let me interrupt the proceeds for a second. In fact, let me test drive my soundboard today because we had some problems yesterday. Let me try the principal. I'm going to ask you is from the front office of the high school real quick. Question for Creative Tony. Am I coming through as a principal right now? Okay, because I hear. Okay, good. Creative Tony, there was a lot of talk on the streets about the brand new item on the. I feel so important when I got the megaphone on. Brand new item on the Longbridge Pizza menu. It is the Vibin' Out Burger. Their answer to the In-N-Out Burger. Creative Tony, how did that go with the kids? Your thoughts?
So we stuck to pizza yesterday, and the Vibin' Out Burger we did not have because I just wanted the kids. I figured that would have been like a mess for the kids to be dealing with it because the burgers are big and juicy. And
it's a mess. No, you're right. You need a whole stack of napkins with that bad boy. You got special sauce leaking out. I got tomato juice. It's a mess, but it's damn good. I mean, even you were eating that damn. Yeah.
It's incredible. It's incredible. So I just highly recommend it again, thank you, Neil, and thank you, Longbridge Pizza yesterday. By the way, after the game, brother, dude, 2 things.
What?
Waymo. We can get on. Just remind me about Waymo.
I can't wait. I'll take your Waymo takes any time. I'm anti-Waymo. I stand against Waymo. Yeah.
I will finish up just to say that Longbridge, they are all about making you feel at home and like you're part of the family when you go there. I had so many people come up to me and say, man, Neil was down here, Andre was down here, Gabino was down here, and they were talking to us. They were so cool, and they made us feel so welcome. And I'm like, that is what it is all about, man. So 2347 3rd Street, Longbridge Pizza.
Yeah.
There's stuff going on at Chase Center. The Red Sox are in town at Oracle Park. Get to Longbridge before. I went before and after.
Yeah.
Dude, the ice cold beer I had after the come on, man.
Jesus, you want to mute that bad boy or just call maybe? Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, that's Bearded Bob calling me about Metallica.
I see.
So I don't know how the white goes through my laptop, by the way. I apologize.
Nobody knows. Yeah, we're all trying to figure that out.
Anyways, it was just a joyous, wonderful occasion, a wonderful day, and it was just great. But the Red Sox are in town this weekend. If you're going to the yard, go to Longbridge before or after. You won't regret it, as we like.
Mike Damone, kiss me. You won't regret it. Thank you, Longbridge. We freaking love you. Neil Donardi, fist in the air, onward and upward with Longbridge Pizza. Get yourself down there if you haven't been. Creative Tony, real quick, I'd like to give some love to one of our favorite VIPs. She is Noemi Catalina, Lady Catalina on the streets with the green apple hot sauce. She's got a couple comments here. You want to quote Sly Stone? You go right to the front of the line. Sometimes I'm right, but I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my song. A butcher, a banker, a drummer, and then Creative Tony. Don't matter what group he's in. Everybody, come on. I am everyday people. Yeah. Thank you, Noemi. Freaking love you and appreciate the contribution. All right, Creative Tony.
Dude, we'll be seeing November. We'll see Noemi Sunday.
I was just gonna say, see you on Sunday. Now, I don't know if Metallica is going to cover any Sly Stone, but I wouldn't put it past them. They covered the Allman Brothers in Georgia. They played One Way Out, which is pretty crazy, man. Or at least they did like a One Way Out jam.
That's when Kirk Hammett and Trujillo do their own little kind of jam, right? In the middle of the show.
That's correct. Yeah, it's something different every single night, and they usually acknowledge what like whichever city they're in. So it'll be something San Francisco specific on tonight and then on Sunday. By the way, how's your head? Are you prepared?
It's not gonna be something Santa Clara specific, Paulie, because the show's at Levi Stadium.
I mean, listen, Santa Clara specific. I'll tell you what. Now, here's a little curveball for you. I like to throw this one out every now and again. Santa Clara specific, I'm going to have a hard time coming up with names. But if you go a couple more miles, I can give you a rock star great out of San Jose. Nobody knows this guy was born in San Jose. But ladies and gentlemen, come on down. Real name on the birth certificate, Frank Ferrano. Stage name, Nicky Six. Born in San Jose. So I can give you some Nicky. He's out of San Jose. Give me your greatest Santa Clara rock star. Tony, go.
I can't give you Santa Clara. I just searched Santa Clara, and it came up with the Santa Clara University of Santa Clara marching band. So it's fine. But you got to go Doobie Brothers. With the first thing that come to my head, Doobie Brothers, San Jose, and then also Smash Mouth, who the lead singer I think passed away recently. So Smash Mouth and Doobie Brothers are who I think about in San Jose. Yeah.
Well, how are you feeling for tonight? Are you mentally, spiritually, emotionally prepared for the? You're about to get an ass kicking tonight. You're going to get a musical ass kicking. Yeah.
I'm not prepared at all, and I love that. Okay. I love not being prepared because then it just, like you said, it just whacks me in the face, and I'm like, let's go. So I'm not prepared at all. I've got you got your to-do list of stuff to do with the kids before I got to be ready to go. But it's going to be a bookmarked weekend or a bookended weekend with Metallica for us. So it's going to be, I mean, the fact that we're double dipping, man, is what I'm really, really not prepared for. But I know that when I'm there tonight, I'm going to be like, hell yes. I love that I'm coming back Sunday. So very excited for that, Paulie. What I'm not excited about, Paulie?
Yes.
I'm gonna say these numbers to you, and you guess what I'm talking about. Okay.
Oh no. Okay. I don't like numbers generally speaking, but unless they're 49er jersey numbers, then I can help you. Any other numbers I'm kind of allergic to, but go ahead. I'm not sure where you're going to take me, but let's talk numbers.
2 for 26.
Oh, I can take a wild stab at this one. That's got to be Giants with runners in scoring position.
Boom, 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 boom.
Hold on. Dude, I just stumbled onto something. Can I try something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't even know I was going to do this. This is a test drive. I had no intention of going here. Hold on to that 2 for 26. Let me just try something. I don't even know if it's going to work.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a load of S.
I didn't even know I had that capability, but now I do. So we got Satan, and I got, what are we going to call that? The Geddy Lee voice, the Mickey Mouse voice?
Dude, that sounds like
Santa Clara. Woo! Okay, hold on.
It sounds like the Chipmunks, dude.
Yeah. I feel like a chipmunk. Hold on.
All right, I'm back.
Hold on.
I didn't even know that was available. Pee-wee, that's my Pee-wee voice, yeah.
And I'll give you this, Paul. Let's see if this works here.
Hi, Paulie. How you doing? We're from the space. We're a robot.
Give me a if I am Iron Man. I am Iron Man. Give me one.
I am Iron Man.
Not bad.
Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic.
Okay, good. Very good. Sorry. Very good. So, no, that's why we're playing with our toys today. Anyway, 2 for 26. I'm not down. And by the way, wouldn't you know, it took my guy Wilmer Flores to come in with the pinch hit double to kind of get some action happening. And I saw a nickname, courtesy of, I don't know if he's on the board today, Sons of Johnny LeMaster. He's one of our favorite guys. He posted a nickname for Wilmer Flores yesterday I'd never seen before. He called him Even Flow.
Dude,
Even Flow. Yeah, like Flores. I like that. Even Flow.
Love it.
Me too.
I love it. Yeah. Pearl Jam and Flores. When you can combine Pearl Jam and Wilmer Flores, it's a win in my book. It's I just like the guy. Dude, the guy is money. He comes in a pinch hit role with all the pressure on him, and he comes through, dude. But if they were gonna waste another gem, I was gonna be so pissed. But we were in the house. The team was we were all sitting together in the bleachers.
Yeah.
Fun, festive vibe in the bleachers all around. It was great. It was great.
So
great crowd too. Huge crowd for a Thursday day game. The summer is in the air. Yep. School is out. People are, a lot of tank tops, a lot of shorts, a lot of sundresses, all that jazz. The sun was shining. A little windy. The wind was blowing hats off people's heads. It was pretty funny. But I did not see a 1-0 game going into the 7th inning. Well, and I'm like, Jesus, here we go. Webb is throwing a freaking gem. He threw 7 innings. He had 9 Ks.
0 walks, by the way. 0 walks, 9 Ks. Like you said, he was just masterful again yesterday. Like and I'm glad at least he's north of, he does have a winning record, thank God. And I know nobody cares about records anymore. I kind of do. I like a pitcher with a nice 1-loss record. So he's 7-5 now on the year. He should probably be, for those 12, he should probably be I don't know, 9-3 at least to be generous. I mean, the Giants have not supported him. And yesterday was heading in that direction, like you said, T. But again, it was Flores coming in and delivering with the big hits. I'll take it, dude. I'll take the win before Boston comes in because they're going to I got a feeling Boston's going to play the Giants really tough. Because they're going to get a lot of shit about the Devers move, and they're going to have to answer to that. And I haven't even checked, but I'm assuming the Sunday game is a national ESPN game. It's just a guess, and I'd be willing to bet like 95% positively on that.
I don't know if that will be because the Giants and Dodgers were the game last Sunday night, so I don't know if they're going to move it around. But, dude, a few things. I got a few things for you, Paulie. First of all, Hacksaw Montana checking in live from Wrigley Field as we speak.
Nice.
He says Wrigley Field is packed today, full 40,000. I love it, Hacksaw Montana checking in with his family from Wrigley Field. I love those kind of live updates. Thanks for checking in, dude. Secondly, Paulie, dude, Webb's ERA is now 2.49, and he threw 97 pitches yesterday.
Yeah,
68 of them strikes. 68 out of his 90.
He was great. He was on point again. Yeah, he is such I mean, I'm so grateful we have Logan Webb because he just gets the whole Giant culture. Like he really does. I think he kind of epitomizes what it means to be a Giant.
No question.
And he brings kind of that older school kind of toughness and mentality to the mound, which I like a lot. Like that's his mound. Don't F around with Logan Webb when he's pitching. Kind of a Bumgarner thing, kind of a Matt Cain thing, like that kind of toughness I really like. By the way, dude, speaking of toughness in the NL West, how about this little beanball thing the Dodgers and the Padres have going on? Dude, that's going back and forth. Did you hear Manny Machado? He goes, the Dodgers better pray that Tatis's MRI comes back negative. He's basically launching threats. And Shohei got plunked last night. He's getting praised as some great diplomat now because he walked over to the Padre dugout in some kind of appeal for peace. I don't know. What's your take on that? I think that thing continues. That's not over yet.
Paulie, I loved it. I was watching it live when it happened. I was over at my buddy Gary's house, and we were watching it live. And I said when Tatis got hit, I'm like, oh, dude, this is not going to go well. Because I knew that's like the third time he's gotten beamed by a Dodgers pitcher. And so I'm like, dude, okay, this is, and all of a sudden bench is cleared. I'm like, look at this. And because I love it, dude. And it's like, hey, Dodgers, Padres, go ahead and battle each other. And the Giants are just going to be in the, doing their thing on the side while you guys battle with each other. You know what I'm saying?
What I loved about it, Tony? I'll tell you what I loved about it. I love the fact that they're throwing at one of the lead guys on the Padres. I love that the Padres' answer was, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to drill Shohei. Like, dude, I love that. Like, he's not off limits, and I'm glad. Like, he should be the guy to take that bullet. Like, if you're going to throw at critical elements or critical guys in that Padre lineup, dude, Ohtani better be ready to take one. And he did. And I think sometimes that's Mike Krukow would say that, like he would defend that kind of old school justice. Cause listen, dude, if that's how you want to play, you have to know that there's going to be one coming to your ribs as well.
I loved it when the ball left Suarez's hand, the pitcher for the Padres' hand last night. I'm like, oh my God, that's on purpose. That was absolutely on purpose. And I loved it. It drilled him. It's a no doubter purpose pitch, sending a message. I loved it. I love the beanball is still at least somewhere in baseball because, like you were saying, Krukow always talks about it. And I tell the pitchers that I coach, I'm like, you know what? That's your plate. That's not the hitter's plate. That's your plate. So if somebody's up on the plate, you throw inside and back them off. Or if somebody does like that, not in youth baseball, of course, but I'm talking about like when you get up to the upper levels, the beanball thing is a real thing. And I loved seeing Shohei get plunked. And I think it's kind of it's almost like karmic, Paulie, about all the talk we've been talking about with
that's for your buddy doing 54 months. Why don't you take one of the ribs? And dude, I hate to say this, I don't want to go too dark up in this piece, but I will say this, dude. That guy might have a lot bigger concerns than getting drilled in the ribs. You know what I mean? He might be, there could be other areas he's going to be, potentially there's a drilling going on and it's not going to be good. I'm just talking. What, you don't think there's, hey, listen, I've seen Sons of Anarchy like anybody. I know what goes on in jail. All right, listen to me, Tony. Question. While we're talking beanball, we're talking, kind of blood feuds in baseball. Legitimate question. I'm just asking you. At any point this weekend, do the Red Sox throw at Devers?
I don't think so. That would be really, really lame and stupid if they did. But speaking of that, if they did, look out, man, because the Giants will not tolerate that for a second. I promise you that.
Birdsong on the hill tonight, by the way. The kid Birdsong's going tonight.
Love it. And I love the matchup tonight. And I read a great article by Jeff Passan today on ESPN.com that I highly recommend people research and look it up. He just basically breaks down the whole Devers debacle, right? And
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot of the stuff that went on, but like, dude, first of all, Devers was on the team plane on their way to Seattle. They hadn't left yet, but he was playing cards with one of the Red Sox teammates on the team plane. And Alex Cora had to approach him on the plane and say, "You've been traded," and he had to leave the plane. Isn't that crazy?
Well, let me ask you a question. Actually, it is. There's nothing pleasant about that, but that's life in the big leagues. What would you prefer, Tony? Would you prefer to be playing cards on the plane, or would you prefer to be Kyle Harrison in the bullpen warming up? Yo, kid, get back here. Yeah, you just got traded. He was warming up in the pen before a game. Like, is there one better than the other? I think they're both pretty brutal, man. Yeah.
It's as brutal as it gets, and it goes to show how late in the game it went. And I also read in this article that the Red Sox were trying to get Eldridge, and Buster was like, "No, he's not even part of it."
Who was trying to get Eldridge? Who?
The Red Sox wanted Eldridge.
You ain't getting Eldridge. You ain't getting Jack S. No, he's with us. He's with us.
They tried to get that as part of the deal, and Buster was like, and the Giants ownership was like, "No, he's not even on the table. Stop asking for him." But dude,
it is pretty remarkable what the Giants gave up to get. Well, you really think, with no disrespect to Hicks or Harrison, I like both those guys, but still, bro, that is not an equal. That's not a fair exchange of talents. Like, the Giants really got away with this one. Like, they made out like bandits in my view.
No question, dude. And I read in this article, it talks about how this all started because of Alex Bregman, which is so random, dude, because the Red Sox signed Alex Bregman in spring training. Supposedly, Red Sox management told Devers, "Hey, if anything goes down and we sign somebody, we'll let you know beforehand." Well, they were trying to get Nolan Arenado or Bregman. They got Bregman. They didn't tell Devers about it. And instead of having Bregman play second and Devers play third, they put Bregman at third. They put this new rookie, what's his name? I wrote it down here. Hold on. Christian Campbell. He was like the minor league rookie of the year, player of the year. He's playing second base, and they told Devers, "Hey, you're going to DH." And Devers was like, "What? What are you talking about?" And so then Devers finally says, "Okay, fine. I'll accept the role as DH." And then the Red Sox first baseman has a season-ending knee injury. And then the Red Sox says, "Oh, no, now we want you to play first.
Grab a glove, you're at first." Yeah.
And that's when Devers was like, "Dude, what the hell is going on? Get me out of here. This is a horrible scene." And so I really think a lot of the Red Sox players are like, "Dude, good for Devers. He got out of here." Because I don't think it's a good scene in Boston right now. Like I don't think it's a good chemistry or good morale with the Red Sox right now.
No, I think you're right. I think that's accurate. And I do know this for a fact, just from talking to people I know back there, that is one pissed off fan base, bro. That is one. I mean, they're pissed off enough as it is. You wake up in Boston, you're already in a bad mood about something. And now you throw in a bad Red Sox season with a historically bad move like this Devers thing. That is one pissed off freaking fan base. And by the way, just a side note, you guys are killing me on the comment line today, Tony. I don't know what's going on. I really don't.
Yeah.
And I glanced over at one point and I saw Scarlet Fire say to Low Steve, she goes, "Low Steve, violence is never the answer." I got God only knows what you guys are talking about today. I have no clue what's going on, but that made me laugh. Hey, what's up, Ryan Fong? I haven't seen you. Ryan Fong backs that up. He goes, "I spent 3 years in Boston and woke up pissed off often." Bro, I lived there for 5 years, and I attribute it to the weather. This is my theory. I've told Tony this before. When you got to wake up 6 months of the year and start the day by chipping ice off your windshield, you're going to be pissed off. And then you're driving to work, you're going 30 miles an hour, there's snow slush smashing up against you. It's a tough way to live. That's a tough town. Patty from Napa as a super today. What's she saying, T? Hold on, I want to give her some love here. Patty, I'll tell you in a sec. Hang on. Patty, I can't hear a thing as I'm on a meeting, but have a blast this weekend. Patty, we will, definitely. We're definitely going to have a weekend, a great weekend. Love to you as well. Love to Mikey, and hope to see you up north for the Cheap Trick thing. I am driving that Steve Perry Benz at some point. I'm just letting you know. Okay. And you are too, Tony. I want the both of us in that car, like Jonathan Cain and Steve Perry back in 1981. Okay. Any other Giants thoughts? Because I do want to talk some NBA, but not if you're still going on the Giants, man. I know you were pissed about the runners and scoring. It hasn't changed. Melvin is trying to calm the waters now a little bit. He's going, "You guys, it's going to take some time for Devers to get acclimated. Give him a break. Let him breathe a little bit." It would be nice to see him wake up against his old team this weekend, and something tells me he will. I have a feeling he's gonna come to life this weekend. That's just a gut feeling I have.
Well, and there was also chatter about, does Devers play first base in this series for the Giants as a big middle finger to Boston, saying, "You wanted me to play first base after you wouldn't let me play third base, after you wanted me to just be a DH. Well, you know what? Look what I'm doing now for the Giants. I'll play anywhere they tell me because I'm happier over here." And he talks about how Like there's no peace of mind when you're playing for the Red Sox. And I'm
Shout
like,
out
that is
Boston Peace of Mind, Tony. Great track.
yeah, dude,
All
and
I
it's like,
want is to have my and also Iron Maiden had a record called Peace of Mind. By the
Yep.
way, we got all kinds. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Tony. I know hold that thought. Rags and Scarlet Fire now going back and forth on Bucky Dent. Jeff Winkler, violence is never the answer unless you're Eazy-E, because his identity by itself causes violence. Shout out Eazy-E. What the blank is up in the place to be. Coming on the mic is easy, mother blanket and E. Anyway, Tony, that Eazy-E spot brought to you by Jeff Winkler. Finish your thoughts on the Giants. My bad.
Dre's on the beat, Yella's on the cut. So listen up close while we rip bleep up, bleep up, bleep up,
We're
bleep
still
up.
trying to clean ourselves up. Have you noticed, dude? It was a much less of profanity was used this week than in prior weeks. We're trying to clean up our act a little bit. We're working on something on the side. We can't announce it yet, but we will soon. But it involves Tony and I shortening the show a little bit, and also involves us watching our language. Anyway, Tony, thank you. Go ahead. And I'm so glad you shouted out Yella. Okay? Yella.
Yella's on the cut, man. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that
on the cut. Where else would he be? Of course, he's on the cut. You know?
Don't be surprised if you see Devers at first base. And if I see that is the biggest middle finger to Boston, which is so freaking tastic. And then also last point about the Giants, as they welcome in the Red Sox tonight. I'm so glad they got that W yesterday. But again, you gotta give love to the bullpen, dude. Again, Rodriguez and then a clean inning with 2 Ks, and Doval a clean inning with 1 K. So it's like, dude, I don't know how long they can ride this pitching wave, but they're doing it still. They're doing it and doing it and doing it well, right? But it's like they need runs, man. They 2 for 26 with runners in scoring position in the last 3 games. That is out. It's just out of control, dude. It can't, unsustainable. Hey. So they need to do something. I'd love to see Jung Lee back at the top of the lineup personally. That's just my 2 cents.
So would I. I'm with you on that, dude. Give me Jung. I would put him there and leave him there.
Yeah.
He's like the kind of prototypical quintessential leadoff hitter. He's got all the attributes I'm looking for. He can hit. He's smart. He's fast. Obviously, he can cause damage on the base path. By the way, dude, as I made the proclamation, hey, Tony and I are trying to clean up our act a little bit. We got something else going on. I saw immediately. I looked over at Escobar III. We ain't cleaning up S on the comment line. We ain't cleaning up S. I'm not asking you to. I ain't asking you to. You guys spice it up as much as you want. And by the way, we're going to see Escobar III on Sunday. We're going to see Noemi, Catalina, and Ray. We're going to see Robot Centaur. We're going to see John Joseph and Aaron Cass. We go to the 5. Yeah. Tony, I like to call them the Filthy 5. Okay.
Oh, I was going to say the Furious 5, but that's okay.
Yeah. How about the Furious Filthy 5? I don't know why I'm calling them filthy. I'm just throwing that out there. The Furious Filthy effing 5. Yeah.
Fine. But Paulie, before we get to the NBA finals and to our musical assignment and to our bracket, I just wanted a couple of birthdays I just wanted to shout out today because I know that you'll enjoy these. Okay. Lionel Richie. Happy birthday to Lionel Richie. I'm a Lionel Richie fan for life. I always have been, always will be. I like him on American Idol.
Favorite track. Go.
Oh, I mean, oh God, Dancing on the Ceiling. I always go back to Dancing on the Ceiling.
Do you?
Yeah, I love Dancing on the Ceiling. Oh, what a feeling when we're dancing on the ceiling. And I don't know, it's just that 80s pop, man, that just reeled me in, dude. And all night long, of course. Say You, Say Me, Say It for Always. But then also the stuff he did with the Commodores too.
That's what I'm talking about. Easy Like Sunday Morning.
Yeah.
That's my kind of territory. And by the way, if you've never heard it, do yourself a favor. If you like the Commodores, you like Easy Like Sunday Morning, it's so great. Go to Spotify, Apple Music, what have you, and search the Faith No More version of Easy Like Sunday Morning. It's great. It's a great version. Yeah.
That's a great version. You're so right about that, Paulie. Yeah. And then also, Lady, You Bring Me Up When I'm Down.
Great call. Great track. Great track.
That's a funk machine. That song.
Yeah. You bring me up when I'm down. Yeah, definitely.
It's such a throwdown. But also, happy birthday to Michael Anthony, bassist for Van Halen. Happy birthday, Michael Anthony.
Can I say something about Michael Anthony? Let me tell you something about Michael Anthony real quick. That guy right there, the unsung secret weapon ultra hero of the band Van Halen. The reason that they had that kind of Beach Boysy sounding quality to their vocals, that's all because of Mike Anthony. That guy's he really is a great singer, and he definitely propped up David Lee. Like David Lee, I'll be the first guy to tell you, he ain't the world's best vocalist. He's an entertainer. He's a showman. He's doing karate kicks. He's lighting swords on fire, and I want all that stuff. but someone's got to hold it up musically, and that was Mike Anthony. And also, Tony, a very, very underrated and underappreciated bass player. He's
no question. Yeah.
Perfect for that band. He knew what his job was, and he and Eddie had this beautiful blend with their vocals. So, yeah, happy birthday, Mike Anthony, bro. I'm a fan. I got his back. He seems like the kind of guy you would really like totally quiet, but also doing a very, very important job.
I've always been a Michael Anthony fan. Like you said, the unsung hero of Van Halen, really, truly. And also, I love that he and Hagar have connected in the later years and gone on tour together. Because why not? If the music is not going to be out there getting played, but Michael Anthony should go out there and play it with Hagar. Dude, I love that. Those guys, tip of the cap to those two.
Let me tell you a 10-second story about Tony and my outing to go see Van Halen in 2007. This was the night that I think it was Damian Winks. You were with us too. Winks was there.
Winks was there.
I think it was the night that Damian Gong Marley opened for Van. They always have interesting opening acts. And that night it was one of the Marleys. It was like 30 Rastas on stage. It was awesome. And then they finished their set. And Creative Tony and I and Winks, we look up and go, yo, dude, there's a freaking blimp flying around the Oakland Arena. There was like a blimp, and there was no explanation. You remember that? Like a motorized blimp was just flying around the inside. And then at a certain point in the gig, David Lee came center stage and just started breaking off karate moves, like serious karate poses. And Tony looked at me and he goes, dude, he goes, we don't have to right now. He goes, but we need to talk about this later. That made me laugh so hard because Dave wasn't messing around. He was throwing poses and stances and all kinds of. It was in the middle of some jam. And Tony said, we're going to need to talk about this later. Anyway, Tony.
Yeah, totally. Eddie was going off in front of the stage, and back towards the drum kit was Roth doing all kinds of like Tai Chi and karate, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I was so locked into it.
Do you remember at one point, dude, he came hopping out on stage in like an inflatable microphone. He was riding it around like some kind of horse. He was like whipping the mic. I mean, that's the kind of hijinks you're going to get at a Van Halen show. Don't look for James Hetfield on the inflatable mic tonight. I don't think he's going to use it.
Hey, Paulie, here we go.
There you go. The more the merrier all day.
Yeah. I have one more. Hang on.
Oh! Give it to me again. Thank you, Dave. Good to hear you, buddy. Good to hear you. Okay, T.
Real quick, Paulie, if you search on YouTube, and by the way, thanks for watching us on YouTube at Polymax Particles. Hit the subscribe, hit the subscribe and like button. Also become a member of PMP VIP for special broadcasts and special perks for the PMP VIP. You can click the icon right next to the subscribe icon right there on the corner. Yeah. But I was going to say, if you search on YouTube for David Lee Roth vocals, isolated vocals, you can find that on YouTube. It's freaking amazing, dude. Going on a couple more birthdays. Recent heavenly birthday for Brian Wilson today. It's Brian Wilson's actual birthday today from the Beach Boys. So rest in peace, Brian Wilson. And dude, finally, Paulie, John Taylor's birthday. Not number 82 John Taylor, but the John Taylor from Duran Duran and Power Station. Happy birthday to John Taylor.
I've told you before, and I'll say it again. I got the Power Station record on vinyl. I vouch for it. I defend it. You got, dude, Tony Thompson from Chic on drums. And dude, Johnny Taylor, he's holding it down, bro. John Taylor is holding it the blank down. I defend that. So happy birthday, John Taylor. And by the way, you talk about a guy who's had them all over the world. Any member of the band Duran Duran has probably had more, let's just say, lovers than your average a rock band out there. Those guys, I mean, they did some serious damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's I think that's an understatement to say anything, Paulie. But hey, what's not an understatement? How about that for a segue? What's not an understatement is your Pacers, Paulie's Pacers, going to Game 7, forcing the Game 7. I love it, dude. This series has been so much fun. Seriously,
good series.
The people that tuned out and didn't watch this series, you're missing great basketball. You're missing a hell of a battle between these two teams. And dude, Game 7 is going to be, supercharged, man. It's going to be emotional. It is going to be one hell. I see it going down to the wire. I really do. I don't see it either team blowing the other team out. I see it going down to the wire, and they're going to need total dogfight. The stars are going to have to rise up, man. Like last night we talked about Siakam, Nembhard. Dude, Siakam had 17 or 16. Nembhard had 17, so they showed up, right? I think Halliburton had 17 as well. But for the Thunder, last night. I'm looking. Yeah, see, for the Thunder, Chet Holmgren only had 4 points. He did have what? He had 6 rebounds, but only 4 points, and that's a low rebounding number for him.
Yeah.
Also, Jalen Williams only had 16 after a 40-point effort in game 5.
Yeah, the Pacers kind of shut him down. And you know what's crazy about last night, dude, is that I just felt really good. That is like the true personality. This is what the Pacers have been doing throughout this postseason. They will push any given team to their absolute limits. So they just dominate. Now, the first quarter was tough, 28-25. Pacers outscore Indy in the first, but then they start dropping the hammer. In the second quarter, the Pacers outscore the OKC Thunder, Tony, 36-17.
Yeah.
And then you go to the halftime, you go to the locker room, you make adjustments. OKC only scored 18 points in the third quarter. So again, there's part of their DNA and their makeup is that they don't know how to close yet. Obviously, then they're trying to learn, how do we close a team out? The hardest thing to do in sports, and they have not found the answer yet. I tell you the truth, at this point, it's anybody's series. It's a one-game do or die, like you said, total street fight out in the schoolyard. There's nobody watching. It's like the last man standing. I think I might like the Pacers on the road, as crazy as that might sound, because all the pressure is on OKC. If I'm in Indiana's locker room, I'm loose. I'm feeling loose. They're not supposed to be here in the first place. The fact that they have pushed this team, this number 1 seed, to their absolute brink, a 8-win team, I'm telling you right now, I think I like the Pacers on the road Sunday. T, what's your initial kind of reaction? What are you thinking?
Of course you like the Pacers. They're Paulie's Pacers, number 1. And number 2, naturally. You've been a Pacers guy all your life. I know this. But in all seriousness, I do think all the pressure's on OKC. It's on their floor. And they had to take the Thunder starters out for the fourth quarter. That's how bad it was. That's how bad the game was. I mean, if the starters stay in, who knows what kind of a bloodbath that turns into last night, worse than it was last night. I got to give Los, our boy Carlos de la Fuente, some love too on the comment line. He says casual basketball fans caught up with big cities and ratings have missed out on on quality basketball. Game 7 should be epic, and he's so right. Game 7 should be epic. 5:00 Sunday. So I believe the Giants. I was going to check the Giants schedule to see when they play. What time they play the Red Sox on Sunday to see if it's like a doubleheader. If you can go right.
While you're doing that, let me shout out. I want to shout out Los D as well for shouting out that. I like the series too, man. Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone. It's on the where is that one on the Apple? I can't even keep up anymore. It's out there somewhere, and I've watched both seasons. I'm with you. That's kind of an underrated show. I like it. He's like a New York mob guy who relocates to Tulsa, Oklahoma, just winds up taking over the whole city. I like it. Anyway, thumbs up on that one. I feel you. Don Peralta's in on that too. T, what do you got? Thumbs up.
We got Giants baseball 105 on Sunday with Robbie Tight Pants Ray on the bump. So you can go 105 Giants Red Sox right into Game 7 on Sunday. That's going to be an epic Sunday. And then, Paulie, we're going to be at Metallica after that. So
you're damn right.
We could be in the lot. Hanging out with the PMP VIP or the PMP Army and watching the game on handhelds, and then go into the venue. So
I'm going to throw a public plea out there right now for any of our VIPs. And by the way, when you ask yourself, hey, why should I join the VIPs? Well, for stuff like this, because we're going to do some private broadcasts, pardon me, down from Levi's. Tony and I'll do some reports. Secondly, it gives you a chance to qualify to win stuff like Metallica tickets. So, plus you're helping the show, man. I'm not going to lie. You're definitely helping the show if you become a VIP. We're not trying to ask too much. It's $5 a month for opportunities like Metallica and for bonus content, which we're going to give you this weekend. So anyway, what I was going to say, my public plea, Tony, is if you have the technology, like Oscar Goldman and the $60 million man, we have the technology. We will rebuild him. I'm looking for an Oscar Goldman type guy to bring over like some kind of portable screen, any kind of, I don't know, what is it? A freaking iPad, a portable TV, whatever you have. We'll set it up. We can, like Tony said, we can watch the games. I don't have that kind of shit in my house, so it's up to you guys. But if you can bring a screen, we'll definitely have a few drinks and we'll have some food and we'll watch the NBA Finals Game 7. And Tony's right. My Metallica sources tell me, Tony, the band will not be on stage any earlier than 8:30 p.m. So we should be able to get the entire Game 7 in before we go inside to watch Metallica's set. And so anyway, if anybody has a screen, Dom, I have a ton of screens. All right, bro, throw one in the car and bring it down. We're going to take you up on that. Tony, speaking of, why don't we
I just want to let people know that
Yeah,
usually the curfew is 10 p.m. on Sunday nights,
yeah.
but the city of Santa Clara they applied for an extension. They extended the curfew to 11 p.m. because the normal curfew, I think, for Friday and Saturday nights is 11 p.m. Sundays is 10 p.m., but they extended it to 11 p.m. for Metallica on Sunday night. That's pretty cool.
As my old boss and the guy who gave me my break in my career, Tony Salvador, used to say, a lot of rules down there. They got a lot of rules. You know, they got too many rules down in Santa Clara, Tony. I don't know if you know this or not, but in 2019, the Rolling Stones, I don't know if you ever heard of them, the Rolling Stones, they went down there. No, yeah, there's some, I don't know. They did a gig at Levi's, and Santa Clara would not give them a permit to do their fireworks show at the end of the performance. They had a big fireworks thing planned. Santa Clara wouldn't let them do it. So cut the S, Santa Clara. I want my music. I want my fireworks, and I don't like curfews. A lot of rules down there. Shout out to Tony Salvador for life. That's my guy. A lot of rules. Tony, pardon me. Let's do brackets. Music assignment out because we got S to do. We got to get down to Levi's. So
we do. I'm just going to share one picture. You mentioned the Rolling Stones, Paulie. I got to share this picture because I saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
Look at Keith's hands, dude. Are those incredible? Like I just saw that picture. I'm like, that is such a cool shot of Keith's hands, man. Look at that. I just loved it. Look at how many shows, how many chords, how many notes, how many guitars have those hands been on. I had to share that real quick.
How many of the greatest rock and roll songs in history have been written by those hands?
Right. Is that incredible? And look at that.
You hear me knocking, Brown Sugar, you know what I mean? Jumpin' Jack Flash, Painted Black. I mean, the list goes on and blank and on and on and on. And Start Me Up. Those hands right there created those chords. Yep. Good call, T. Thank you. And Keith, keep going. By the way, you want to talk Stones? I'll give you a Stones update right now. You didn't ask for one, but you're going to get one. The Rolling Blank and Stones. Are you ready for this, Tony? They're about to release another brand new album.
Let's go.
It's like they're working harder. Like the older they get, like the more work they're doing. And their last record was amazing. Acne Diamonds. That is, I'm telling you right now, as a big fan, that's the best Rolling Stones album in about 25 years. So they're finding some kind of late groove in their career. Anyway, look for a new Rolling Stones record to be coming out next month or two. All right, Tony.
Dude, how about the song Why You Bite My Head Off? Why You Bite My Head Off? By the way, with Paul McCartney on bass for that tune, by the way.
Yeah,
on that album.
Why you bite my head off? Why you such a jerk off? Okay, that's the lyric. Why you such a jerk off? Why you bite my head off now? And then he drops. Now I'm going to curse just to quote Mick Jagger. He says the whole fucking ship is sinking. Why you bite my head off? Listen, it's kind of a punky tune. Like that's a little punk flavor from the Stones.
There's also a nice bass break in the middle. Boom, ba da ba da boom, boom, ba da ba da.
Yeah, it's all distorted. Yeah, totally.
So good. All right, yeah. Let's go to the bracket because we're gonna wrap. Let's wrap this bracket up, okay? Because we got. It's Friday, man. It's Friday, and we're gonna go right here. We're down to the Elite Eight in the whole bracket and the whole thing. So. We're going to start Oklahoma City movies versus food. And dude, Rumblefish versus Frito Pie is that's the final in the movies versus food. Okay. So I feel like I should do this real quick because Corinne she did this yesterday and she sent this to us yesterday. And I want to show it, Paulie, because it just maybe it'll help with your decision. Okay. Because there it is. Yeah, let me get this on the screen. So this is really good. This is Corinne sent this in, and sorry, buddy.
You're good. I don't know what you're doing, but you're fine.
I know it's just all over the place, just shucking and jiving. There is a picture of a Frito pie right there.
That does look pretty freaking good, man.
Look at that, dude.
Give me a big scoop of that. I love that they got some sour cream and jalapenos on there. But I tell you one thing, that looks phenomenal. And then you're going to have problems later on in the day when your body starts trying to digest that whole thing. But I got to tell you, that is a damn good looking dish. And Frito pie, man, is no joke. Thank you for the enhancements. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Corinne. So now, Paulie, it's up to you. You're going to start the process. Rumblefish or Frito pie to advance to the final four? Rumblefish.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to get graphic with some of my takes today to illustrate the point I'm trying to make. I never saw this coming, Tony, and it's not like I had an agenda. I did not set out to do this. I'm going to advance Rumblefish again. Wow. I know. Wow. I know. But again, let me just give you the checklist, okay?
Oh, boy.
Mickey Rourke, Matt Dillon, Nicolas Cage, Diane Lane, and Dennis Hopper, Drunk on the Bed. Okay, so that's a bit, and then Stuart Copeland soundtrack and Francis Ford Coppola. It's a proverbial all-star team. Okay, and it's the gift that lasts forever. If you don't like the film, okay, I can listen to the soundtrack. With Frito Pie, you only got one direction to go. You're going to annihilate that thing, and there is a price to be paid. There's a price that's going to be paid. You got digestively. You guys know what I'm talking about. You've seen the chili, the Fritos, the jalapenos. There's going to be an explosion, perhaps a rupture at some point. So I personally, with no harm to my digestive tract that Rumblefish poses, I'm going to advance Rumblefish again. And it's not like I set out to do this. I'm just speaking from the heart.
It's okay, buddy. I'm gonna go Rumblefish as well because it's now up for debate whether or not the Frito pie was even invented in Indiana, because now there's some scuttlebutt on the chat, and also I saw in the article that Corinne sent that says that it was invented in Texas. So if we can't definitively say that the Frito pie was from Indiana, we have no choice. I got no choice.
That's De Niro and Raging Bull. She's like, don't eat the steak if you don't want to. I got no choice. Yelling at her. Okay, Tony. So man, Rumblefish it is. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Rumblefish moves on. Rumblefish is in the final four. Let's go now.
Go.
OKC Inventions versus Oklahoma Famous People. And we've now down to the steel electric guitar versus Chuck Norris. Paulie, I'm gonna stay on my Chuck Norris train. The amount of entertainment that he has given me over the course of my lifetime outweighs the amount of times that I've enjoyed the steel electric guitar. The electric guitar period is great, and nothing against the steel electric guitar. But I feel like Chuck Norris is 85 years old. He's still going strong. He still reps the Total Gym. He's still on infomercials late at night. He's still on Cameo, giving personal messages to people, like my friend Mark Wiseman on his birthday. He's still doing calendars of daily inspirations. I got to go Chuck Norris. I want to see Chuck in the Final Four, but your call.
This might, pardon me, this might surprise you. I, too, am going to go with Chuck Norris, and I'll tell you why. Listen, I love guitar, and I love steel electric. I really do. I love blues music, but even Joe Perry only uses the steel electric for like one or two tracks. Like most of the time, he's got a regular electric slung around his neck. And with a lot of things, I let Joe Perry kind of guide me through the wilderness. And I'm going to tell you right now, you could make lots of music without the steel electric guitar. You can't make Texas Walker Ranger, whatever the hell that TV show is called, without Chuck Norris. You can't make Good Guys Wear Black without terrible Chuck Norris. And like you said, dude, he's selling gym equipment. He's making cameos. He's just down there being Chuck Norris. On that greatness alone, I got to advance Norris. I'm advancing.
The eyes of the Ranger are upon you. That's the Texas Walker's Ranger. That's the theme from Texas Walker Ranger, Paulie. So
I understand.
I'm very excited. And my friend Mark Wiseman, if he's watching, Mark is very excited. He might just pour himself a tequila shot here on Friday. Because of Chuck Norris advancing to the Final Four. So that's going to set up a Chuck Norris Rumblefish in the Final Four matchup. But we're going to
and Ray Goodman brings up a good point too. What's up, Ray? Ray goes, Chuck Norris will roundhouse kick that guitar right out of your hands into next week. It's a great call, and it's an accurate call. You just kick it right out of your hands. Go ahead, Tony. What's next?
Also, dude, Patrick Patton says Chuck Norris uses pepper spray to season his steaks.
Okay. Very good. Very good.
And also, Escobar has a good point. He says Chuck Norris moves on because he learned from a Bay Area legend, Bruce Lee.
I think get a laugh track ready. I'm about to go to do some extremely off-color humor. I've heard on the streets that Chuck Norris uses pepper spray as his personal lubricant. I know. I'm feeling spicy on a Friday. What do you want from me? I'm feeling spicy. All right, Tony. Anyway, keep it coming. Let's
go. Yeah. So now we're going over to the Indiana side.
Yeah.
And we're going to the Final Four of Indiana, and we're going to start with the movies versus food final. And this is part of the Final Four, or the Elite Eight. Excuse me. So we're going Natural Born Killers, the movie, versus Jiffy Pop popcorn.
Okay.
And Paulie, I'm going Jiffy Pop. That's all I'm going to say. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, but I'm going Jiffy Pop popcorn because of it's a slice of Americana, man. And I told you the story when we were in Half Moon Bay baseball tournament, Memorial Day weekend, and Megan brought like 8 different Jiffy Pop things with the wire handles, and it was mayhem, but it was so much fun. The kids had a great time. And the thing like this only happens with Jiffy Pop. With no other product would this happen. So I got to go Jiffy Pop.
Okay, I'm going to once again in a surprising turn of events on a Friday high noon broadcast. I'm going to rush right along to Tony's side to join him with, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. These are not unqualified takes. Every take I'm making is thoughtful. I've given this a lot of thought. Here's the thing: Natural Born Killers, great flick. I still feel like they based the whole movie on the Bruce Springsteen song "Nebraska," and until somebody proves me wrong, I'm going with that theory. It's almost like Oliver Stone listened to the song Nebraska by Bruce and goes, you know what? I'm going to write a whole movie about this. And that's kind of what it is. It's a couple on a killing spree for no reason whatsoever. And except at the end of the song, Bruce goes, why did you do the things you did? And Bruce goes, I guess there's just a meanness in this world. Like, in other words, there is no reason. I just felt like killing 10 people. So anyway, it's dark, but you know what I mean, dude? At a certain point, it's going to run its course. Now, Jiffy Pop, dude, there's just so many ways to potentially get injured. You know what I mean? With Jiffy Pop, it could be a hot oil spray. You could burn your hand on the freaking aluminum handle they're selling you. Like, that's dangerous. Like, so you could get poked in the eye, one of the prongs. You know what I mean? You could get hit with a stray kernel. That's like a 500-degree kernel shooting out of the fire. So again, like the danger involved is appealing to me. Like anybody can get hurt for any number of reasons. You can wind up having a scar on your forehead for the rest of your life when you're cooking Jiffy Pop. And that appeals to me. I like danger involved in my meals. I'm taking Jiffy Pop in a surprising turn of events, but I'm going Pop.
Paulie, I love where your head's at today, buddy. I really do. So Jiffy Pop advances to the Final Four, and I'm going to show at the end of the show today. I'm going to give Jiffy Pop some love today, and with some visual aids. But moving on, we're going to go down to the bottom of the bracket now, and this is where it's going to be tough, buddy. This is in the Final Four down with
Let's go. Speed brick, dude. Speed brick. Yeah.
Inventions versus famous people. Transistor Radio versus Diamond David Lee Roth.
Well, listen, as much as I need a transistor radio when the earthquake hits or the nuclear war or whatever happens, we have no way to communicate. The grid goes dark. What's left? I still think I'd prefer David Lee Roth in those situations. You know what I mean? The comedy, the inspiration, the lyrics, the one-liners. Anybody who doesn't save money can't buy happiness obviously doesn't know where to go shopping. Or here's another great one. Somebody once said to Dave, like, hey, Dave, what a great physique you have. How do you maintain that physique? And you're always partying. And he goes, well, I used to run, but the ice cubes kept falling out of my glass. I'm like, I freaking love this guy. So I'm going David Lee, bro. He's brought me more happiness in the transistor. And at that point, dude, once the nuclear war hits and like we're off the grid, it's dark. It's like people are eating people in the streets. I'd rather have Van Halen at that point. I don't even want to know how close I'm going to be to getting captured and thrown in some like, cannibal camp or whatever you're going to do with me. So just give me David Lee. Just give me David Lee until the lights go out. That's all.
I will. I'll give you David Lee because I got to agree with you, dude. And I saw a video of him, one of his recent shows in Vegas, and it was backstage, and it was his approach to the stage, and dude, it was phenomenal. He's like dancing and smiling and scatting as he's walking to the stage. I'm like, look at this guy. He couldn't be a bigger fan of him. And so yes, he's going to advance, Paulie.
Okay.
Shout out to the Transistor Radio for making a hell of a run.
It was a great run. It was a great run. Yeah.
Right? And so now that sets up the Jiffy Pop Popcorn David Lee Roth matchup in Indiana and the Rumblefish Chuck Norris matchup in Oklahoma. So here we are in the Final Four, Paulie.
Wow. Well, essentially the idea of Chuck Norris facing off with David Lee Roth feels right to me. Like those are two great Americans that have to have a showdown at some point. Yeah. And I'm not sure they're both martial arts experts. You know what I mean? Anything goes here. Dave could surprise him. Dave could surprise Chuck Norris because Dave is not only a black belt, Dave is also a skilled samurai swordsman. Okay. Yes. A samurai blanket swordsman. So listen, maybe Rumblefish has gone as far as it's going to go. It was on a Cinderella ride, but at a certain point, dude, that thing's turning back into a pumpkin. And then over on the other side, I mean, Jiffy Pop, another Cinderella ride. Nobody expected to see them in the Final Four. However, Chuck Norris and David Lee, no surprises there. Those are two great Americans on a collision course. So, Tony, I say it's Dave meeting Chuck for all the marbles. That's just me. What do you think?
Paulie, again, we're on the same page a lot today because I totally agree with you. And I also feel at the end of the day, I feel like if you have two living people able to win out, they should, over an older movie and a popcorn, a type of popcorn. So I feel like you have David Lee Roth, who we just spoke about all the reasons why, and we've spoken about all the reasons why for Chuck Norris. hell of a run for Rumblefish, hell of a run for Jiffy Pop, but I think Jiffy just popped. Literally, just the big foil balloon just popped.
Its bubble, if you will, the bubble burst. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Now, dude, now we're in the final, and now we've got Chuck Norris against Diamond David Lee Roth. And
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to take this on. I am. I'm ready. And let me tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what.
Molly, real quick, I'm going to try and tally what the chat is voting for while you're talking. So go ahead.
Okay, here's the thing. With all due respect to Chuck Norris, I actually think David Lee has a couple of tricks up his sleeve that Chuck Norris just doesn't. Let me explain. One, they're both skilled martial arts guys. We've established that. Okay, like one can do a roundhouse kick, so can the other one. Now, is Chuck Norris a more lethal and deadly human being? Yeah, sure. But listen, can Chuck Norris sing on multi-platinum records one after another? Can Chuck Norris go on tour and headline the US Festival with Van Halen in front of Patty from Napa and about 500,000 other of Van Halen's closest friends? Can Chuck Norris go to the jungles of New Guinea with no food and survive for 2 weeks? David Lee Roth did. Can Chuck Norris scale what's it called, the El Capitan or whatever it is down there? David Lee can. So I think that because of the vocals, because of the samurai sword work going on. Don't forget, David Lee Roth was an EMT. He was saving lives at one point. I don't know if you know that, but he was actually a licensed EMT. Mm-hmm. So I think Dave brings more to the table potentially than Chuck. He's a more rounded individual. Now, is Chuck the more lethal, deadly human being? Yeah, of course he is. But David Lee's doing a variety of things that Chuck can't. My vote goes to Diamond David Lee Roth, undefeated. That's me. Tony, you. The floor is yours.
Dude, the comments are on fire for this, and they're more for David Lee Roth, but Good. Some of the comments are great. Chuck sings without opening his mouth, says Rags. Okay. He says, Aaron Cass got a good point. He says, here's the deal, guys. Chuck Norris would never have left Van Halen, and they would never had him leave. There's no Sammy Hagar to replace Chuck Norris. That's his point. You got, I feel like Diamond David Lee Roth will drop to his splits to evade Chuck Norris's roundhouse kick, DLR for the win.
It's a great matchup. It really is. And by the way, Bonnie, Scarlet Fire, Chuck Norris takes lives. David Lee Roth saves lives. Here's another great David Lee Roth a quote just in the back of my head. I remember at one point, like, he goes, you know what? He goes, I'm a big fan of the American family. I support the American family. In fact, I started several families last year. Anyway, it's David Lee Roth talking about the American family. Tony, my vote goes to Diamond Dave.
Okay. I think we have to give it to Diamond David Lee Roth. It's Scarlet Fire. Chuck Norris needs a script and a director. Diamond Dave does it on his own. Okay. Also, I feel like Chuck is an actor and a martial artist, but Diamond Dave is a singer. He is a dancer. He is a entertainer. He is a martial artist as well. Yeah. I feel like we have to give it to Diamond Dave. I really do. I do too. You know, so I'm just looking at all the comments, and the comments have been on fire. It's incredible, dude. So
that's a good thing. Pine Needle's right. Hey, this could be the final settling score, is the fact that Chuck Norris most likely owns some Van Halen records, but David Lee Roth, he doesn't own any Chuck Norris records. I think we found our champion of the NBA Bummer Brackets. I didn't mean for this. I didn't rig this. It just happened organically, but it's David Lee Roth for the win. Yo, Dave, we freaking love you over here at PMP, bro. We got your back with whatever you want to do. David Lee Roth, onward and upward. Tony, speed bricking our way to the end of the show, and thank you for all your efforts. Thank you, Dom, as well. And Lily Merchant, David Lee Roth brings more joy. I think you're right about that. Yeah. Chuck Norris is Chuck Norris, but DLR comes in for the win, and he's jumping off the top of the amplifiers doing flying splits. Tony, go ahead. Okay, final moment. Thank you, T, very much. I appreciate that. Final moments of the show. Yes. Well, here comes the music assignment. I asked you guys for anything from Boston, whether it's a song about Boston, an artist from Boston, a concert that took place, about anything that's connected to Boston, as we thank them for sending us Devers and giving us some pop in our lineup, hopefully. So, Tony, we go on one track or two a piece today?
I only have one track today, Paulie, but I also just want to recognize Mark Graves says Dropkick Murphys shipping up to Boston, basically, is what Mark Graves says. Escobar says They came to Boston by the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. He goes, the Boston Rag by Steely Dan. He says, Dirty Water by the Standells.
Nice.
So Escobar on fire with that one.
Yeah.
By the way, dude, NorCal Refrigeration HVAC, I got your stick figure track. That is really good. That's some good American reggae. Stick figure just put out a new album. That's good stuff. Rich Ray says, oh, dude, Ray said Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison.
Nice.
Never trust a big
Poison,
butt.
poison, put poison. Yeah.
Never trust a big butt and a smile. So there you go. And then you have
I usually look for first, but anyway, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Marty Chargan says he's got to go with Aerosmith, and he says back in the saddle with Devers. So he's got to go Aerosmith, back in the saddle.
Beautiful.
And I'm looking to see if there's any. That's pretty much it for right now. What we got for musical selections? Dom sent one in. He says Aerosmith, Mama Kin. The Pixies, Where Is My Mind?
Nice.
This is the Freeze. This is Boston, not LA. And I know Noemi had one as well on Twitter. I'm going to find that while you give yours, P.
Okay, let me dive in first. I'm glad somebody threw Aerosmith in there because I wasn't going. Look at Patty from Napa coming in with just Boston. Anything off the first album from Boston. Hell, I'll go another step. Anything off Don't Look Back. Those are two great records, both of them. Tony,
hey, Paulie, real quick. Noemi says Just What I Needed by the Cars, because the Cars are from Boston. She said Just What I Needed from the Cars. Great choice by Noemi.
Okay, well, Noemi, check it out. You and Me today. How do you like this? You see that?
Oh.
That's the first Cars record. And I swear to God that my track was going to be Just What I Needed. So now I'm going to do a curveball. I'm going to go, but I love this first Boston record and the guitars. Yeah. I always thought Just What You Needed is Just What I Need is kind of got a little punk vibe going on right there.
Yep.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give this one. Noemi, you take the Cars. Let me put the Cars aside. This is why I always have a backup. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with this. No one's going to see this coming, but we're going this way. We talked Rolling Stones on the show today. Here they are. Now, a lot of people are going to say, hey, Paulie Mac, that's the Rolling Stones. They're not from Boston. Well, that's true. They're not from Boston. However, so this record right here, Black and Blue.
Yep.
By the way, look at Jagger's face. Here. Look.
Incredible.
Okay. Right there. How's your lips? So
good.
This is the first album Ronnie Wood played on, 1975 right here. There's a track on here. It's a beautiful ballad called Memory Motel. And it's a cool song because Mick sings half of it, Keith Richards sings half of it, and Mick is singing about this girl that he loves in the song, and he goes, when I asked her where she was headed for, she said, back up to Boston. I'm singing in a bar. So based on the Jagger Richards association and name dropping of Boston in that song, Memory Motel, and Noemi took the one I was going to go with, I will put the Rolling Stones Memory Motel as my Boston selection this week. Tony, your song, and then we wrap. We go down to Levi. So let's finish strong.
I love it, man. So I'm going to do this real quick. And this, well, I'll introduce it first, but I had this at the beginning of the show, and then you happened to just mention it during the show.
Yeah.
This album is almost musical perfection, in my opinion, from start to finish. More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, Foreplay Long Time, Rock and Roll Band, Smokin', Hitch a Ride, Something About You, Let Me Take You Home Tonight. Incredible album. Look at these guys. I mean,
yeah, dude, come on, man. Brad Delp, rest in peace. Tom Schultz, dude, smoking, cooking tonight, mama. I'm not joking. Got to keep on toking, smoking. Yeah, great album.
It's an incredible album. And dude, you mentioned the song earlier, and it was the song I chose the record for, the song Peace of Mind, because I feel like Devers has some peace of mind leaving the Red Sox, and now he's in a happier place with the Giants. And in that article that I talked about with Jeff Passan that he wrote on ESPN.com, it's a really good article. Highly recommend reading it. He talks about how Manny Ramirez offered here. I'm going to quote the article. He says, Manny Ramirez offered perhaps the best description of life with the Red Sox a day before they traded into the Dodgers in 2008. He says, quote, mental peace has no price, and I don't have peace here. So that's pretty brutal. So they traded to LA, and so Devers, I feel like same kind of thing. And now he's got more peace of mind. So Boston's Peace of Mind is my track. Let's go.
Great track. Also, I just want to shout out VIP special extra credit for the track Something About You. I love something because there was something about you. Yeah, there was something about everything on that album. The whole album rules. Anyway, Tony, that's awesome. I just updated the PMP playlist. So we have added Peace of Mind by Boston for Creative Tony. Paulie Mac's choice, the Rolling Stones, Memory Motel. When I asked her where she was headed for, back up to Boston. Tony, final thoughts.
My final thought is, Paulie, that you should add Just What I Needed as well, because you and Noemi both had it on your radar. So I think you should add that as well.
Okay. And by the way, you talked about Boston's, but I'm picking up a trend here. Great debut albums from bands from Boston. This Cars album, their first album, dude, listen, Good Times Roll, My Best Friend's Girlfriend, Just What I Needed, You're All I've Got Tonight, Bye Bye Love, Moving in Stereo. This is one of the great debut albums of all time right here, of all time. And these are all Boston guys. Rick Ocasek, rest in peace. Damn it. I hate that. I had a lot of respect for Rick Ocasek. Really interesting dude. Okay. I will add Just What I Needed. And Tony, a final word on Longbridge, our great sponsor, our first sponsor. Down on 3rd Street in Dogpatch, 2347. The Laid Back Vibe. Have you joined the Vibe Tribe? I know you're part of the PMP Army. The PMP Army and the Vibe Tribe, it's like the United Nations, like two great countries coming together for one common goal. Great pizza, good vibes, and great playlists of music. Thank you, Andre, when you're down there, and Steven as well. All those guys, man. It's just a great group of people down at Longbridge Pizza. They can accommodate groups, as Tony will tell you in a second. He had his Little League team in there yesterday. And just the food, man. Just the pizzas that they're flipping down there are fantastic. In fact, you know what, Winks? I cannot wait to take you down to Longbridge Pizza, because Winks is always complaining about Los Angeles, and there's a couple of good spots, but a good pizza costs like $50 now, something like that. It's insane. You come on down to Longbridge, Winks, I'll take care of you. These guys know how to do it. And I know you're an upstanding Jersey boy who loves good pizza. I would be proud to take you there. Same goes for you, Rags. I would definitely take you guys into Longbridge with my chest puffed out to show off the San Francisco pizza, because Neil's doing it right. So Longbridge Pizza waiting for you. If you're going to the Giants games this weekend, definitely stop by Longbridge. Hell, if you're going down to Levi Stadium, pick up a pie and head to Levi's. That's what we're going to do in about 10 minutes. Creative Tony, you get the final word, and I'll see you at Levi's in a couple hours, kid. Go ahead.
Dude, Longbridge Pizza treated me and my wife and the coaches and the players of our Little League, St. Carlos Little League team yesterday so well. And it just goes to show you that they can take teams and private parties to celebrate birthdays, to celebrate wins and losses, or ends of seasons, or beginning of seasons, whatever you want to do with your team. They can take bigger parties. I think we had 25 or 26 people there in the back room. It was great. Neil set up all the pizzas. Dude, I brought some pizza home. I had pizza for breakfast today. It was fantastic. And I put it in the oven, Paulie. I baked it on a stone. I did not mess around with the microwave.
Attaboy.
It was fantastic. And dude, we had the Paulie Mac pizza in the square. We had a veggie pizza. We had the hot and honey. It was just a Copa, by the way, on the hot and honey with the.
Come on, you kill me. You're making me very hungry. All right, let's end this show, because I got to go eat something. Hey, we love Longbridge Pizza. Final word from Jeff Winkler, because he always makes me laugh. He goes, as we were talking, as you were doing your thing, I looked over. He goes, I had a subpar pizza last night. And he goes, my favorite Jeff Winkler Winks pizza story in Los Angeles. He goes, he got two really cute girls. He goes, yeah, I took the girls to a pizza place. I think he said something like, each slice, Tony, was $12. And they, as soon as they made it out the door, one of those slices, bam, right on the sidewalk. The pleasure of having young kids. I know. Daddy, I need a new slice. Yeah, here's another $50. Anyway, Winks, I freaking love you. I'll miss you tonight. Don Peralta, I'll see your ass on Sunday. Have a blast in Metallica. We need to know yeah, that's correct. Long Way to the Top is like the track they usually play right before they come on stage. So if you're in the building running around getting a beer, you hear Long Way to the Top by AC/DC, get your ass to the seat. The show's about to start. Tony, I'll see you shortly. Fist in the air. Get your leathers on, bro, because we're going to do it right tonight. Looking forward to seeing all of you PMP VIPs on Sunday. And Tony and I will try to give you a couple live broadcasts tonight as well. Thank you for a great week. Don Peralta, Stevie B, Lily Merchant, Ray Goodman, Noemi, Rags, Winks, on it goes. Robot Centaur, Escobar the Third, Los D. What else can I say? Miguel, thank you guys. We freaking love you. Creative Tony, grab a bite. I'll see you in a little bit. Onward and upward to Metallica. Everybody have a great weekend. We're back Monday at 11 a.m., y'all. Have a great weekend, and peace to you.
And thank you, all of you, checking in on Instagram Live and also on Twitter and YouTube. Thank you all. And remember, the audio versions are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and TuneIn. And Paulie? Class dismissed! We'll see you down at the Levi Stadium, Paulie, in a few hours. And go Metallica, go Pacers. Diamond David Lee Roth won the bracket. He's Indiana, so go
Thank you.
Indiana, go
Yeah.
Pacers, and that's it. That's
Cheers,
all I
y'all.
got. Take
Cheers.
care. Have a great week.